Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Psych-sip Sessions, episode 4, Brewing, Balance, Social Media and You. I'm Claire, your host, and today we're diving into a topic that's as complex as it is relevant, social media and its impact on us and our mental health. Joining me for today's discussion are three incredible guest speakers, but before we jump in, let's start with the most important question of the day. What are we all sipping on? So today I'm sipping on a warm cup of green tea. It's been my recent go-to, and also I hope everyone's year has been great so far. And for our guest,
Hi, my name is Sarah, and today I am sipping on a iced matcha latte with warabi mochi. Yes.
wow, so fancy.
Thank you. It's from that shop at One Holland. No sponsors, but
Tell us more about yourself.
I am a fresh grad from RMIT, and I've just completed my bachelor's in business, majoring in marketing.
Wow.
So I kind of do social media for a living. What about you, Hazel?
So, hi, my name is Hazel, and today I'm drinking on a iced coffee. Nowadays, I don't use social media as much. I used to use Instagram quite a lot though when I was younger. And yeah, a bit more about myself. I'm a first-year student at the University at Buffalo, doing psychology.
Wow, we're glad to have you back again for this episode. Okay, now on to our last guest speaker.
Hi, my name is Teng. I'm a second year going to third year student at University at Buffalo. Today my drink would be hot chocolate, which is my go-to drink. As for my social media usage, I do use social media, but I use social media to observe. Or to I don't really post a lot.
I see. Thank you for joining us today. So great, I can't wait to hear everyone's insight on this topic. Let's get started. So as we all know, social media is often described as a double-edged sword. From your experience, what are the most common concerns that arise from social media usage? I'll start first. I think because everyone only posts the good sides of what's going on in their lives, like the fun that they're having, I feel like it's very easy to compare your lives with others. What do you guys think?
Yes, it does. Yes. The thing is, I'm in my mid-20s.
Mm.
Okay, I entered university quite late. So sometimes when I see my friends posting about like their graduation photos, like their first job or whatsoever, and recently I have a couple of friends getting married also. So it's like, you're just like missing out a lot of some amazing things, Yeah.
Like in general, the fear of missing out, like not just the milestones, but people are having fun, they're living up their 20s, and I feel like I personally struggle a lot with it because I feel like I dedicated a big chunk of my life to academia and also trying to attain academic validation. So because of that, whenever I open social media, even when I'm looking, I feel like my life in terms of what's going on is definitely not comparable to my other peers, and it feels like it makes me not want to post even more. So returning to social media was kind of hard, and sometimes I do wonder, like, who cares about what I post? Who cares about what I'm having?
Yeah.
But like I did mention in the previous episode, I had this conversation with my friend, but it's not really a conversation because I was just saying it in passing, like, should I post this? And she was like, girl, just do it. She said, it's your social media, it's your account. Like, who cares what other people think? It's just a documentation of your daily life. You can just do what you want to. So that kind of like woke me up.
That's so cute. I mean, for me, when it comes to comparing, I kind of compare only like the freedom that they have when it comes to like traveling, especially because I just one of my life goals is just to be able to travel and just chill by the beach or like play in the snow. I've actually never touched snow before, especially now when it's winter. I'm just like, when is it my turn? I also compare the fact that I don't have animals. I don't have a pet.
Oh my god, same.
Yes.
I want a pet so badly.
I want a cat and I want a dog. And I don't know if it's a bit torturous to have a little Samoyed in Singapore, but that is my favorite dog breed.
I see. What about you, Hazel?
I would say for me, did you guys get social media really young? Because I feel like the age in which I feel like I got it, I feel like we were quite young. I got it around like 13 or 14. Is that considered young? I feel like when I got it at that age, I definitely did compare, and I felt that like you use it to view like what your friends are doing, and like I don't know, it seems as though like at that age is the age where you're starting to get to know yourself and starting to like care a lot about like your friend groups. So I feel that like getting it at that age made me compare a lot, but now that I'm older, I feel like I have different hobbies, and I feel as though that I have many different friend groups.
Yeah.
I think I do not compare as much. So yeah.
Growing up, I didn't really have a lot of access to the internet as well as social media. I only had a Facebook account, and that's where I'll play Pet Society.
Oh, bring back Pet Society. Come on,
agree,
someone should do that.
And I only had my own Instagram account when I first got my first iPhone, which was when I went to Sec 1. When I went to Sec 1, yeah.
So you were like 13 when you had your first phone?
No, my first iPhone.
Your first iPhone?
Yeah, I had like I had a Sony Ericsson and a Nokia and all the little like keypad phones.
And then slowly
and so I
evolved
felt so much FOMO when I was in primary school. A lot of my friends were a bit more well off than me, and they would have like iPhones, and they all had WhatsApp already, and they all could text each other instantly, and I was just there. Sometimes I would call my grandma to fetch me on that little like what's that, the public phone
where you put in like
the
your
10
cents.
cents. Exactly. And I was just like, guys, think of me when you guys go home. See you tomorrow. Yeah, so that kind of growing up without so much social media also kind of made me have a different mindset where I don't really find a need to compare myself in terms of life achievements. But that's also something I found out along the way, that I just need to live my own life. It's my life. Yeah.
I agree.
For me, right, I used Facebook when I was 8 years old. So I use it to play games. Unfortunately, I don't really chat with my friends. So I think that is that's the kind of thing that like kind of keeps me away from like the toxic kind of like
aspects of social media,
and like the social media, you know. I just use it to play games, and also I think my parents also restricted a lot of screen time, so I was only allowed to use 2 hours of screen time. I think that helped me kind of like distance myself from social media quite a bit. Subsequently after that, I only got my Instagram account when I was about to graduate secondary school. Yeah.
For me, when I say I had social media at the age of like 10, 11, I didn't mean like having Facebook and playing games on there. I didn't include that. But if that was the case, yeah, I had Facebook at much earlier. But for me, I had a head start to Instagram when Instagram first started out, and I had multiple accounts. You know, Tumblr was in back in the day, and I would just post like Tumblr pics on Instagram. And you know, Instagram now has a new feature where you can see like your likes, right? Like all your likes. So me and my friends one day, like for a fun activity when we got together, what we did was we did it in chronological order from your oldest likes. And seeing the stuff that I liked when I was 10,
I did 11, that too.
It was embarrassing, and for some, I went on like a massive spree where I tried unliking as much as I could, but for some of the posts, because they were taken down, it crashed my entire phone.
I went a step further. I looked through my following. I have like over 3,000 following. I follow over 3,000 people.
Right.
So I went all the way back and started unfollowing all the weird accounts. It's just like spam kind of things,
right?
You know, like the funny content and all that stuff. That is not my vibes anymore. So I just like unfollowed a whole bunch of people, but I still have 3,000 following. As in, like, I still follow 3,000 people. So.
I see. Okay, so going back to how I started being online.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, it's okay. So basically, what happened was because everyone in my class was on social media. Everyone's on Instagram. Like, that was when it just came out, and that was what was in trend and what was like fun and all. So I decided to make an account too. But that was how I started dabbling into social media. So, how has social media become an integral part of your everyday routine?
For me, I definitely have to have something always playing in the background. That's why my screen time is crazy high. Yeah, so, and I always need to listen to something to fall asleep. And I fall asleep when it was really bad. I would have to have something playing on my speakers, something playing on my iPad, and then watching a video on my phone.
What?
It was insane. Yeah, but now I fall asleep definitely much better, much easier as well. And like, that video is just there to like help me fall asleep faster.
For me, I would say it's mainly something I do while like I commute. So like when I do use Instagram now, I don't use it on the app. I use it on web, like I mentioned. So like I feel like that makes me use Instagram and like social media more mindfully, because you have to like purposely go search it up and like log in and like go use it. And you also, the interface is not really good on web, so you can't like endlessly scroll. You have to like exit a video and like go click another one. So like I feel I use social media way less because I use this method now. And so when I do use it, I use it to like, you know, look at what my friends are doing. And yeah.
I like that. That's what strive for, honestly.
You could try, because I feel like a lot of people try to reduce their Instagram usage by deactivating their account. But I think it does not do much, because you can just reactivate it and there's no repercussions. So like, yeah.
That's personally something I would love to try, but it just isn't really exactly feasible for me, because of the fact that social media is kind of my work.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I have Instagram on my iPad, which I use for like I use that
Some
for
people do with TikTok.
Yeah, I use that for like all the stuff that I do that are external, so not my personal one. So like CCA and like volunteering accounts that I volunteer for. So like, yeah. And I can't really like, I mean, I will not use my iPad to film stuff, so it makes me use it strictly for work.
That's so
Good idea.
Yeah.
That's genius.
I think so too. Like for me, because like I did mention, social media is a big part of my life, and it's kind of important for you to know the trends and what's going on. And also I do want to keep up with my friends, because due to how busy I've been in 2023, 2024, social media was a big part of how I was able to connect with my friends. Like even though I'm not able to text you or like DM you personally, you're able to see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You're able to see what I'm doing in my everyday life. I'm able to see what you're doing in your everyday life. And like even if we're not chatting in that moment, when we meet up, I can say, oh, I saw that you did this, and it's like a conversation starter. So social media is very important to me, and it's not something that I can stray away. So even when I was in my busiest, or when I had my busiest moment, I would limit my screen time. Or like for exams period, I would definitely deactivate my account. But when I can, I would check up on my friends that way. Because texting, you know, it takes a lot of time. Like I'm a call girl.
Yeah, me too. I hate texting. I'm a horrible texter.
When it comes to conversation, I'm a call person. Like, I want to answer
Definitely.
it now, right now. Let's have this conversation right now. Let's talk it out right now.
If I get a text, I'll forget about it. I'll like
Right.
reply them in my head and forget to text them
Right.
back. So
Right.
like, yeah.
So I feel like social media does help a lot in my everyday life.
I think, you know, we post sometimes also for the validation. If we don't receive the kind of validation or like the kind of feedback that you want to receive, I don't think you will actually want to post, because there's no audience for you to post as well. Yeah, so maybe that was the reason why I didn't post on social media as well, because I feel like there's no audience kind of like wanting to care about my life or things like that. So I didn't post. Recently my friends were like more receptive, so I posted it more.
It's nice.
But then it feels also kind of tiring also, like, if you, because like you don't post, right? And then like you have a kind of like difficulty in gauging the expectations, and I don't have a habit of posting also. I also don't know what kind of post I wanted to post. Yeah. So it's like there's kind of like a dilemma.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like stories is more casual. Instead of having to post like on your feed, I feel like stories is a lot more casual, and like that was a way that my grandma kept in touch with me while I was in Australia.
That's so cute.
Because she would check my stories. She's on Instagram, you know. So like my relatives are all on
She's so
Instagram.
tech savvy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That side of my family is really like tech savvy. They're all like the aunties on Instagram, and like they see your stories, and all my aunties, like they're younger aunties, so they all like comment like congratulations, or like, wow, that looks so fun, and it's so cute, because like if not for social media, I would only see them like once or twice a year, like during
Right,
Chinese
during
New
New
Year
Year's,
or
yeah.
like reunions and everything. But then that way, with social media, I can it's kind of easier for all of us to connect. Yeah.
So Hazel, do you have any experiences, despite the fact that knowing that you don't really use social media?
In terms of Instagram, I do post. Okay, if I have something to post, I will download it. But lately, these couple of years, I've been doing more like a sort of dump. You know, everyone does like a dump of their month or like their year. And I've been only doing it like, it got less and less frequent. But I went from posting like quite often when I was younger, like multiple times a day, to like multiple times a week, to like once a month, to like once every couple of months.
Yeah,
and I haven't
same.
posted for like half the year. I was intending to do like a 2024 dump, and
I forgot.
I have not done it yet.
Yeah.
So
I
if you
kept
see
putting
it,
it
you know
off.
that I've downloaded Instagram again.
Okay,
Yeah.
please let me know.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to like.
Maybe if you post yours, I'll be reminded, and I'll like post mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do take pictures though. I still do that, but I just don't like. I feel like the things in my gallery can just be for me. Like in the past, a lot of it was for the gram, but now it's like, you know, if I feel like it, then maybe I'll make it into like a post, a reel. But like if not, then yeah.
Okay, for me, I think how it affect my mental well-being, and I guess because of the fact that I do experience kind of the fear of missing out, and even if I don't consciously feel it, I think I experience it very subconsciously. Because after scrolling, I feel so empty inside.
I get it. Yeah. I definitely feel that way after like doom scrolling.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Not that I doom scroll even. So the fact that I experience it to this extent when I'm just scrolling maybe 10 minutes per day, I can't imagine what's it like being chronically online. Especially for perhaps Gen Alpha specifically. Like the kids that grew up in this day and age.
Yeah.
Like in the past for us, not saying that we're old or anything, but like if it's not online, it doesn't exist. I can deny their existence. I can deny that part of me. I can deny that I had that ugly haircut. As long as my mom didn't post it on Facebook, I can deny that.
Yeah.
I can pretend that didn't happen. But the fact that if you're like in Gen Alpha and everyone is just posting and your moments are just captured, whether it, you know, be like
From,
yours or your
birth all the
family.
way to
Yeah. Or like your friends. Oh, you can't never like truly
cancel
escape.
culture.
Right.
You're gonna dig up everything from since you were a baby.
Right, that must be so scary, and I wonder what are the side effects of that.
Time will tell. Only time will tell.
I think so too. So with that said, social media has its bright sides. It's a powerful tool for building communities and accessing resources. However, the key is moderation. When people become overly dependent on likes or validation, it starts to affect their self-esteem. That's where mindful usage comes into play. Social media platforms are designed to keep us engaged for as long as possible. So features like endless scrolling and algorithms that show you what they think you like can be very addictive. They've also evolved to include mental health resources like crisis hotlines and support groups. And across different platforms, you can connect with people who share the same interests as you, helping us feel less alone, which is a really positive addition. Further exploring the topic, social media has grown into a niche trend to a massive force shaping how we interact with the world. This topic is so relevant in our digital age where we are constantly connected but sometimes feel more disconnected than ever. Today, billions of people log onto platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter, now known as X. Well, the platform count depends on your age demographic, but daily, whether it's to share updates, connect with friends, or catch up on news. And each platform has its unique flavor. So Instagram has very curated visuals, TikTok has bite-sized entertainment, and Facebook connects communities, and X, Twitter, as a hub for real-time updates. So to put things into perspective, as of 2023, an average person spends nearly 2.5 hours daily on social media. That's frankly more time than some of us spend exercising or cooking or even talking face-to-face with friends and family. So a significant chunk of our waking hours, showing how deeply rooted, these platforms are into our lives. So to kick things off, let's talk about the rise of social media. It's definitely hard to imagine a time where we weren't scrolling through feeds or sending memes to our friends. Platforms like Facebook started off in 2003, and they paved the way for what we see today, an era dominated by social media like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and more. So in your opinion, what makes platforms like social media and TikTok so influential in shaping how we interact with others?
I think it gives us more insight into cultures that are different from us.
I guess for me, like story time, short story times, and like the maybe awkward interactions or funny things that happen in their day-to-day life, I'm able to learn a lot more about like human perspective and self-awareness, and how everyone, they go through life differently, and how my experience isn't the same as someone else's. And because they're so openly sharing that, even though it's kind of embarrassing, like I personally wouldn't do that, just saying.
No, but like you learn from them.
Yeah, you learn from them, and you learn to be more self-aware throughout these like story times. And I think it's very human. Like it's kind of like a window into how they feel about something else as well. So that could possibly be how your friends feel or family feel about that same issue, or just something that you didn't think of initially but now is brought to your awareness. So I think it's really helpful.
I would agree how like social media has allowed that very, like you were saying, human aspect, that a lot of us have like similar stories, but I would say that it's not common to know that a lot of these experiences are universal and shared. So a trend that I've been seeing a lot online is the pink toad lit moment. So people are kind of like just trauma dumping about all their experiences that they had as a child. And like, when you scroll through the comments, then there'll be other people responding to those experiences and like being like, oh, I face the exact same thing. So I feel like social media has really made a lot of these very, although universal, but experiences we've had behind, like people have behind closed doors, into a very like kind of universal phenomenon, and people are like finding community through that over their trauma, I guess. But it's been quite interesting to see how people are like so forthcoming about such stuff that is not commonly shared in like public spaces.
Right, it must have been like so hard to open up about, right?
Yeah, it must have been.
I think it's our generation thing, right?
Yeah.
Like we laugh in
We
just
move
to
on.
cope.
Yes.
Yeah, we laugh and move on. Let's continue by exploring the bright side of social media. At its best, it's a tool for connection and community. Again, platforms allow us to stay in touch with loved ones, no matter where they are in the world. The access to mental health resources makes things so much more easier as well, and it's just so convenient if you're shy or scared to seek help. Social media has also made it easier than ever to find a sense of belonging in difficult times. For example, during COVID-19, for many, these platforms are lifelines, offering connection and understanding in various ways that weren't possible before. So for you guys, has social media helped you or someone you know build meaningful connections or find support? But of course, it's not all rosy. The darker side of social media reveals significant challenges. One of the most talked about issues is the psychological impact. Studies have linked heavy social media use to higher levels of anxiety, depression, and even feelings of loneliness. Another problem is the comparison trap. Seeing highly curated, idealized versions of other people's lives can lead to feelings of inadequacy. Social media often highlights the highlights, not the full picture, which can be detrimental to self-esteem. And there's also screen time. Spending excessive hours on screens can disrupt sleep patterns, reduce overall well-being, and even lead to digital fatigue. So what do you guys think about the highlights culture? Whether it be posts, reels, or stories on platforms like Instagram, how does that affect self-esteem and perhaps mental health?
I think that people have to learn how to identify when something is being staged and when something is fake, and versus when something that is sincere and real.
Like for me, despite I did mention that I do experience like feelings of emptiness and loneliness when I watch real stories, despite the fact that I very well know that hey, these are their best moments and they're just capturing their best moments, but I still subconsciously feel, you know, empty after scrolling for even like half an hour. So basically, I think what I find helpful was that I have my own benchmark. So instead of having other people's lives as, you know, what's the baseline, I set one for myself, and I think about how my life, you know, my ideal life, what I want it to look like. And because of that, because, you know, I have it all visualized in my head, I think it's a lot easier to detach myself from everything that I see online on my own feed.
Yeah.
I think it helps when you like kind of like know your identity, you know your wants, and like basically your likes and things like that, and you don't let the things around, like the things around you, or like the what is on your feed kind of like define who you are. But I think it's kind of difficult, especially when it comes to like teenager phase, when like the world around you kind of defines who you are. Instead of like engaging online, it's also important to engage offline as well, and striking that perfect balance between the online and the offline.
I completely agree. I feel that people say that Instagram is just like a curation of your highlights, right? But to me, I don't even think that Instagram it's like the highlights of my life. In a way, I just think that Instagram is, for me, just a place of aesthetics. This may be a bit like unconventional, but like I think it's superficial and it's meant to be superficial. Like I'm not trying to be my authentic self there. And I think what Sarah was saying was that you need to be able to differentiate between what is real and what is like false. I think you're referring to those like influencers who portray a very idealized version of their life, or you know, their life is completely different, but they only film the very, you know, it's filtered, it's only a very small segment of your life. But I feel like to a certain extent, any thing being posted or like any image is curated in itself. So for me, I think that Instagram is just a place for aesthetics, and the stuff I post there is just, you know, when I go out, when I thrift, and like when I go to museums and galleries. So to me, I feel like I like that there is a platform that is completely just meant for aesthetics, but it does not reflect the important moments of my life at all. In fact, the most important moments of my life were things that were just not captured. They were like friendships, like academic or like work accomplishments, you know. So for me, I feel like although I see where people are like getting by saying that you're comparing the very like, you know, prosaic details of your life with a very highly curated version. In fact, I think that a lot of what is on Instagram is just not even the highlights of most people's life, you know? It's just a very aesthetically pleasing version. Yeah.
So, okay, next question. What do you guys think of features such as, you know, disliking the like count, and or like disabling comments, or hiding the amount of shares? What do you guys think of this new feature on Instagram?
I mean, personally, it doesn't affect me that much. I mean, I'm not one to like stalk who likes what photos or who likes. I'm not one to stalk like reposts, not one to stalk shares.
My friends kind of do compare though. They're like, oh, my posts haven't been doing well lately, or like my stories haven't been getting much views. Like my friends would say that, and honestly to me, I'm kind of like, oh, like who cares? But
yeah, because for me, I usually post like my main content that I post every day on social media is on my close friends list. So it doesn't matter because there's like only a fixed amount of people in there. But like when it comes to like likes and shares, I only care about that when it comes to work.
right.
Yeah, you know, they just don't happen to see it on their feed, and it doesn't matter to me. Yeah.
I think for me, like you, I'm not too affected, but I do disable my like count because of the fact that I feel like it does breed grounds for comparison. So I try not to let myself like, I'm trying to prevent it from even happening, so I just disable it. And I hear from some people that they usually do stress about the likes, the views, especially from my younger friends. Some of my friends, they would unprivate to get more likes when they have a new post, and they would have their friends share on their story that post.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Do they
That's
want to like
interesting.
grow their platform?
Yeah,
or
something like that. But I find it strange. It's like your account is unprivate only when you have a new post, but after 24 hours you would private it back.
Wait, why
Isn't
do they
that-
private it back again?
Isn't it kind of contradictory?
Yeah.
But
Is there a purpose?
Yeah, for more likes and for
Like,
more
as in, like, why don't you just leave it unprivate the entire
exactly,
time?
that's what I think.
Oh, okay,
But I
okay.
think because these are like pretty young girls, they're like
Okay,
15,
okay.
16, 17. So I guess maybe they haven't like...
They feel like it's a safety feature, but they still want to explore, like, kind of
Maybe-
get more likes.
Yeah, I think also they don't really have it figured out. Like, what do
Okay,
you have
okay.
figured out as a teenage girl? So they probably don't recognize that, hey, this is actually kind of contradictory. Yeah, but I do kind of get that maybe they do feel like likes is a form of validation. I know we've all been there, you know, as teenage girls online. Like, sometimes when you get a large amount of
Definitely.
likes, you feel like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm famous.
Someone book me a
Yeah.
photo shoot right now.
We're joking, but yeah, sometimes it feels good seeing your like
Definitely.
account go up. Like, you know, as you're growing your account, you're getting more likes, more friends, more followers. So I don't think they fully grasp like social media to that
Yeah.
degree. Yeah, I think definitely with all that
Yeah.
said, Gen Alpha uses social
They
media
do.
in a very different way, and
Yeah.
perhaps because they kind of grew up during the COVID period, and like with how rampant the social media usage is, I wonder how it affects them. So perhaps their actions are actually normal. It's just that
Yeah.
we don't get it.
Yeah.
Or I
Right.
don't think we need the validation for it anymore.
Right. this is-
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we've developed.
We've
grown up,
past the
we've
age.
grown
Yeah,
up,
we've
yeah.
grown up. Okay.
For me, I haven't like hidden my likes on Instagram, but I think it's definitely a good initiative. Cause like I think a lot of people, they do want to share their life, their story with their friends, but social media makes it into a competitive thing. So people who just want to share for the sake of sharing, so that people can see what they've been up to, will feel pressured. Like if they get, you know, perhaps less than 100 likes, and so they will not share for that purpose. But now that with this feature, I think people can a lot of people have been focused on just sharing like the very small moments. It doesn't have to be aesthetic. It can just be like a huge dump. I think this huge like dump trend is kind of correlated with Instagram having become less curated in a way. Although like people could argue that the whole like dump thing itself is very curated. You know how they say that like millennials, they tend to use social media in a way that's very like, they post their best. Well, Gen Z, it's like they post
casual.
okay, like
Yeah.
it's meant to seem casual, but it's not. But I feel that like this whole being able to hide your likes have helped make Instagram into a more casual place.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you guys think of like, you know, social media? There are also safety hazards. Like, you don't know who's screenshotting your photos, who's taking your online information, and like what they're sharing, what someone's like catfishing as you. So what do you think of like safety measures, like keeping tabs on like who's taking screenshots of your stories?
I think that's a little scary because comparison, bringing up the topic of comparison, you never know, like what they're using that screenshot for, and you keep like overthinking about it and like, oh my god, what if they're like sending to their friend to like badmouth me,
Right.
or like what if they are like, you know, doing something negative, you know,
Right.
talking about me in a negative light. But
Right.
then they could just also be like, oh my god, I really like this sweatshirt that you're wearing,
Right.
and I want to find it on like the reverse image on Google.
Yeah, so this feature, like where Instagram would tell you who's taking screenshot of your stories, not posts but stories, it was a, I think, beta feature that they
Yeah.
kind of like took off. Would you guys recommend that they bring it back so you can see who's taking screenshots? I feel like that, you know, there's two sides to this issue. Like, one, your privacy and their privacy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they will argue, oh, why does Instagram have to keep track of what screenshots I'm taking? And also for you, it's kind of like, yeah, but it's a safety measure of knowing who's taking screenshots of
Then
my
you
stories.
can also see, I think that they could have just put it into like the shares part of like when you view,
the share count.
when you view how many people has like viewed your stories or liked your stories, they could probably have added it as a share count and see like who has shared it or who has screenshotted it, but not make it in such a public way.
Right.
I assume people are used to it because of Snapchat.
Right. I think that's a very interesting conversation. Like what Teng said, it should be a fine balance between this and that. Striking the balance is absolutely key. Okay, so next let's shift gears and talk about personality in the digital age. Social media doesn't just influence how we interact, it also shapes how we present ourselves. Many of us craft online personas that might differ significantly from who we are offline. These curated versions of ourselves often reflect what we want others to see, but they might not capture fully our authentic selves. This divide between online personas and offline behaviors can reveal a lot about how social media influence our personal traits. For instance, someone who's more introverted in real life might feel more confident expressing themselves online, while others might find the pressure to maintain a certain image overwhelming. Interestingly, our personality traits can also impact how we use social media. For example, extroverts might thrive on platforms like Instagram or Snapchat, where sharing and interaction is key. On the other hand, individuals with high neuroticism might be prone to experiencing the negative effects of social media, such as anxiety or feelings of inadequacy. Another factor to consider is empathy. While social media can foster compassion and understanding through storytelling and awareness campaigns, it can also desensitize us to others' emotions. The fast-paced nature of scrolling and liking might make it harder to fully engage with or process what we see. So, how do you guys think social media influence the way people present themselves online versus in real life? I think for me, because I only post when I'm like kind of like hanging out with friends, so I guess some people who, you know, maybe they see my stories, they see my feed, they think I'm someone who's very popular and have friends, but in reality I'm just hanging out with the same 5 friends in rotation.
But that's a normal amount of friends.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
I think I present myself the same way. I think I am authentic, but to a certain degree they're kind of seeing the best aspects of my life. Because if there's nothing happening, I wouldn't post, you know?
Yeah.
I think okay, cause I think I have some friends who I don't think they're influencers, but they do have like public Instagrams. I do find like can be quite curated lah. It's quite it does look quite quick if you know them personally, or like you have interacted with them personally before you. It doesn't feel like them. It just feels like someone else. I don't know. I think it's different. Yeah, like what you say, it's like the highlights of our life.
Right, even when it comes to dumps, I have to pick about what pictures I want to post.
I think for me, I just personally portray my online persona to be a bit more polished than what I am in real life. So maybe less words, less you know, like not so, a bit more formal, you know,
less messy,
a bit more put together. But I still keep my sense of humor online. I still keep like things that are important to me online. I still post about it. I still like share things that, you know, I stand for and all that kind of thing, so that people know I don't give a false image of myself.
For me, I think that Instagram is definitely a very curated version of my life. But like what I said, not really the highlights or my lowlights. It's just what I feel like posting, which just tends to be what is aesthetic. So like for instance, if I go out, like go to Gardens by the Bay, and I think it looks good and I'll post it. But in that way, for me, Instagram is just really a place for aesthetics, as I've mentioned. And I think that I can definitely see people having an impression of me that is not like how they would come to know me day to day. Like I've had friends who said that when they saw my Instagram, they thought that I am the kind of person who goes out a lot. I always go out on a lot of both like friend dates and solo dates, which in a way is true, but I think it really depends. Like there are periods of my life in which I have gone out a lot, so, and then there are periods in which, you know, school term, I definitely do not, very busy with school and job. So to me, I feel like there is no like true or false version of me, like either online or offline. To me, it's just like, it is just what it is, you know? Yeah, it's what I think looks nice. It's what I have enjoyed, and that's like kind of how I want to like remember my year. It's just like the stuff even in my phone gallery. Like a lot of the best moments of, I would say, all our lives were not necessarily like captured in pictures, you know? Like especially when you're very deep in a conversation with someone, you probably wouldn't be filming it. So like it's just an extension of like, I would say, the images that we already have, and social media is just taking that to a public level. Yeah.
I think it's like, how to say, like when you interact with a person offline, like with their offline persona or like their daily life kind of persona, it feels kind of like there's a personal touch. Whereas like in the online way, like I mean comparing to my friends who actually post like they have public Instagrams, it does feel like it's a bit cold, a bit distant also, because they have to see professional. So it can feel like it's not that personal, not so easy to get close with kind. But actually when you look at them like in their offline personality, it feels like they are more casual, they are easier to get close to, it's easier to strike up a conversation with. It can feel that way.
Thank you guys for bringing it up. I feel like it's very important to be self-aware, and I'm really glad that we're all mindful. But I think it does bring up in conversation that we should also remind others in our lives, you know, even though they do know you personally and they can know that, oh, you only post where such stuff happen, or, you know, when you're enjoying yourself in like a specific setting, you want to post that, but they can still kind of have that impression of you. So I guess it's very important for us to all remain self-aware that, hey, if we are posting our best moments, you know, we should know that someone else is posting just their best moments.
It's just one aspect of a person, it's not the full personality.
Okay, so next question. In your own personal experiences, does personality traits like introversion or extroversion shape how you use social media?
I think for me, because I'm quite an introverted person, right? I think I am more kind of like reserved as to what I want to post online, or like I'm not very comfortable in revealing a lot of parts of myself. I rather keep them private. But I don't want to assume lah. Maybe for maybe for extroverted people, maybe they're more comfortable with posting whatever they feel like posting online. They feel like sharing more. But that's an assumption. Maybe it can be quite different. Like maybe some people can be like more extroverted online and they are like more introverted offline.
I think there are different cases and it varies. Like there were studies conducted that showed people who were extroverts saw social media as an extension of themselves. And for introverts, they might hide behind the screen and, you know, still want to seek that human connection online, even though, you know, it's anonymous, but they will still seek out that connection. Either that or introverts would just continue hiding online. So I think it's a very interesting interplay. For me personally, because I'm someone who's very introverted, I don't really see it as a means to make new friends, especially not anymore now that I'm much older, and I'm very happy with my own personal circle. I kind of use it as a means to perhaps reconnect or try to interact more with the friends that I currently have.
For me, I think I see more extroverted online because, like, you know, going out and like posting yourself, these are more like these are more like extroverted teaming activities. But I am quite introverted in real life, so I feel that like since I only post these sort of activities that may seem more extroverted, people may think that. But it's also because like I am introverted that I do not post the majority of my life. Like, you know, most of my life is for me, and like I don't need the 600 over acquaintances to know, like, you know, what I've been up to like day to day. So like to me, I think it's just like, yeah, I do not think that Instagram, like, this may be a bit like, you know, maybe controversial, not controversial, just like I don't think that people need to be authentic for like their huge amount of followers, because most things I would like only within my circle of close friends, you know.
It's like only my friends follow me. And also kind of speaking on the disconnect between the online persona and your real life self, I kind of had comments before because I don't really smile on my pictures. I take pictures of me smiling. So because of that, I've had some people who, you know, follow me from school. They don't know me personally, but they know me. Or like we said hi briefly in passing. They've told me that you seem like a complete mean girl.
Like online?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that way. I think your pictures are cute. They look really aesthetically pleasing.
Have you had comments like that?
I've had this one classmate reply to my story and say, "Why do you post this? You look fat."
Okay, that is just full on hating. That is on him.
Anyways, like adding on to what you said about extroverts using social media as an extension, I think like in just this small room you can kind of see like the difference, because like all three of you are introverts and you guys don't post much, whereas I'm an extrovert and I kind of use social media as like a diary because like looking through photos kind of like brings back memories to me. That's why I post a lot. I just wanted to keep all these memories of like where I went, who I met up with, what I was doing, all the things that I enjoyed while I was there. And also living in an era where I have my phone with me, I have a vlogging camera, I have like cameras everywhere. It's so easy for me to just take a photo of this, take a photo of that, and just keep it. And I don't want to just share it with, like, keep it to myself. I want to kind of just share it with everyone. Like, hey, like, guys, look at how much fun I had while I was doing this. Yeah, so that's kind of how I use social media as an extrovert. And of course I always do my rants, or not rants, but like my hauls and my hey guys, what's up, daily breakdown on my close friends list.
I love that for you. So in this digital age, understanding how social media intersects with our personality can also help us navigate these platforms more mindfully. So thank you guys for sharing. So now we're down to our final question. So I don't know if you guys have heard, but digital detoxes have been gaining popularity lately. Do you guys think they're effective? Or what are some signs that you think someone might need a break from social media?
I think detox is where people start to take things online
Too far?
No, too personally. Yeah, especially if you have a large influence or like a large community of people like in your comments and like people who shape the way you view things, then I think that at some point you kind of have to, when for example if people start criticizing how you look and how sometimes just taking a detox, like a pause from all these negative energy, it can help your mental space.
The closest I've been to a digital detox was because I have family in China, so I would visit. I would purposefully like to do this thing where I would kind of go off the grid on social media. I would tell my friends like, hey, I'm gonna disappear, of course, but I wouldn't check social media because it's it's banned because of the firewall.
Correct.
No YouTube, no Instagram, no TikTok and everything for like 2-3 weeks, and it's pretty nice, and it's just like vibes. You're just chilling, you're kind of exploring, going about your everyday life. It really feels very refreshing because you're just very immersed in your day-to-day life, and I feel like it gives my brain like a reset, because definitely TikTok and social media like Instagram reels have fried my dopamine receptors.
I think the most recent digital detox that I had was when I went on a cruise and the Wi-Fi was horrible.
Right.
And then because when you're on a cruise in the ocean, there's no Wi-Fi towers to connect to and anything, so you're just stuck on board. You're just enjoying life there.
I honestly want to go on a cruise
Just to
just to avoid it all.
Yeah, I enjoyed my time on the cruise. I mean, I would always say like I could never. I sound like maybe I am a little addicted to social media and my phone.
I think we all are.
Yeah,
to
but
a
like,
certain degree.
and I always say that I can't live without my phone. And I think that I can't live without social media. But when I was on that cruise for that like 3 days, I really enjoyed it. I mean, like it's not that I was off my phone completely, because I was still like taking videos, taking pictures. I just couldn't, like, I just wasn't using like social media.
Right, I agree.
But it also feels like you're not connected with your friends. You don't know what's going
Yeah.
on in Singapore. I'm not really on social media. Mostly I spend my time watching shows.
I think it's hard to go on a digital detox, right? Especially in our like very interconnected society, like where there's just Wi-Fi everywhere. If you're not going on a cruise, or if you're not going to a country where there's a firewall, like it's genuinely really hard, because people also expect you to be like chronically online. Do you guys have friends who are like, oh, why are you not replying me almost instantly? Whereas I'm like, like why do I need to reply right now just because I have Wi-Fi? Yeah, I've seen people take really drastic measures online. Have you guys seen those where they like put their phone in a box and then they seal their box and then they put their box on a really high shelf? So I feel like these are the really like drastic measures people take to go on a digital detox.
Yeah.
And when I was younger and I did use social media more, I've tried these, but they never worked. I feel like no matter how much you try to like put your phone away, digital detoxes are just really difficult when you live in like the type of society that we live in.
I think it shouldn't be called a digital detox, but more of like a social media break.
Yeah.
Because there's no way you can go like fully no digital, because everything is digital. And I think you have to set your own realistic boundaries. Like a digital detox, like a social media detox for me would just be not consuming content on social media. I will still be able to like take photos, because you know, photos for me is a daily part of my life. Yeah.
I feel that like in the end what did eventually work was not a digital detox, which I feel like it's a very going on a hiatus from social media. It's very ambitious, to be fair. I think most people who do not go to such like rural places will find it really difficult. It was more of a gradual shift, like over time, where I just like slowly use social media less and less. So for me, I feel like digital detox, while they are ambitious, I do think that perhaps people should try to like, you know, dial it back slowly, take less drastic measures.
Right.
These may have a better chance of
It's
working.
like an addiction.
Yeah.
You have to slowly wean it off.
Yeah.
Right, and I totally agree with what you say. I think sometimes I wish some people were more understanding that people, they're not entitled to your downtime.
Yeah.
Right, like just because I sent you a TikTok doesn't mean I have to reply to your text, especially with how busy life is. And I'm really glad that you guys are so mindful and you guys are able to share your experiences on social media in a way that I feel like it's quite helpful for people who might not be so self-aware in terms of this topic. So yeah, thank you for coming on, you guys. So as we wrap up today's tea time talk, we hope this conversation has sparked some reflections on your own relationship with social media. While it offers us a powerful way to stay connected and access support, it's important to be mindful of its impacts on your own mental health by setting boundaries, practicing digital detox perhaps, and being intentional about how we engage with online spaces. We can create a healthier balance. Remember, it's okay to take breaks, prioritize your own well-being. No one is entitled to your downtime. And thank you for joining us on this episode of Psych-sip Sessions. We love to hear your thoughts and personal experiences with social media. Stay connected, but stay mindful. Until next time,
Bye.